Hello and welcome to Prepspot. In this video, we are going to know about the recent developments in India's startup landscape, particularly focusing on Union Minister for Commerce and Industry Piyush Goyal's critical assessment of the ecosystem. Today, I want to walk you through the detailed narrative of his remarks delivered on 3rd April 2025 at around 11 am Indian Standard Time during the Startup Mahakumbh 2025 event held at Bharat Mandapam in New Delhi. In his address, Minister Goyal urged the nation's vibrant startup community to rethink its current trajectory by shifting focus from predominantly consumer-oriented services such as food delivery and fantasy sports apps to more advanced, high-technology sectors including semiconductors, artificial intelligence, electric mobility, and battery technology. His call for a strategic pivot was underpinned by a comparison with Chinese counterparts who have excelled in deep tech fields, thus setting a benchmark for innovation that he believes Indian startups should aspire to match if the country is to realize its vision of becoming a technologically advanced economy. To provide some context, the Startup Mahakumbh 2025 event is a flagship platform designed to catalyze India's startup ecosystem, which is currently ranked as the third largest in the world after the United States and China. The rapid growth witnessed in the Indian startup space, particularly in areas such as food delivery, exemplified by major players like Zomato and Swiggy, and the surge in gig economy services following the post-COVID recovery phase, has been remarkable. However, the minister's remarks highlight a growing concern that the focus on consumer convenience and services may be short-sighted. He argued that such models, while successful in the immediate term, may not contribute significantly to long-term technological advancement or economic resilience, especially when compared with the high-tech, research-intensive innovations emerging from abroad. His pointed comment, "Do we have to make ice cream or chips? Dukandari hi karna hai," was designed to challenge the prevailing mindset and prompt entrepreneurs to pursue ventures that not only generate quick revenue but also foster deeper technological capabilities and global competitiveness. Minister Goyal's speech comes at a time when India is actively striving to position itself as a Viksit Bharat by 2047, a vision that necessitates robust technological leadership and the ability to compete on the international stage. He emphasized that the country's startup ecosystem, despite its impressive scale, must evolve beyond traditional consumer-facing models to embrace sectors that require significant research and development. By drawing comparisons with China's rapid advancements in electric vehicles, battery technology, semiconductors, and artificial intelligence, he underscored the urgency of cultivating an innovation ecosystem that prioritizes long-term sustainability and technological prowess over immediate, transactional success. His message was clear: innovation is not solely about replicating successful models but about daring to innovate and create new paradigms that drive economic growth and global leadership. The implications of these remarks extend far beyond mere rhetoric. The minister's critique has sparked a spirited debate within the startup community, prompting several prominent industry leaders to voice their opinions. For instance, Mohandas Pai, the former CFO of Infosys, took to social media to argue that the comparisons being drawn were unfair and that rather than diminishing the achievements of Indian startups, the government should actively support and nurture deep tech ventures. He questioned what concrete measures had been taken by the government to promote sectors requiring high levels of innovation and advanced research. Meanwhile, entrepreneurs like Adit Palicha, the founder of Zepto, defended the current ecosystem by highlighting the substantial job creation and economic dynamism that consumer-oriented startups have contributed to over the past few years. These responses reflect a broader tension between the expectations set by government officials and the on-ground realities faced by entrepreneurs who have built their ventures within an ecosystem that has largely thrived on the gig economy and consumer internet models. In examining the substance of Minister Goyal's comments, it is essential to understand the terminology he used and the broader economic context in which these remarks were made. The term deep tech refers to startups that are fundamentally based on substantial scientific advances and often require intensive research and development. This contrasts with startups that primarily focus on consumer services, which, although they provide immediate value through convenience and accessibility, may not have the same potential to disrupt traditional industries or generate breakthrough innovations. Sectors such as semiconductors are crucial for the electronics industry, artificial intelligence is rapidly transforming industries from healthcare to finance, and advancements in electric mobility and battery technology are central to addressing global challenges related to sustainable energy and environmental conservation. By urging entrepreneurs to venture into these areas, Minister Goyal was not merely advocating for diversification but was also signaling the need for India to develop and retain high-level technical expertise that can drive future economic growth. It is also important to note that the backdrop for these comments is the broader strategic objective of positioning India as a leader in global technology and innovation. The country's ambition to evolve into a Viksit Bharat by 2047 is underpinned by the recognition that sustained economic growth will increasingly depend on the ability to innovate and compete on technological fronts. While India's consumer internet sector has undoubtedly contributed to significant economic momentum, there is a growing realization that a balanced portfolio of industries, one that includes both service-based and high-tech ventures, is essential for long-term success. In this light, the minister's call to action resonates not only with policymakers but also with investors, educational institutions, and research organizations that are beginning to prioritize deep tech initiatives as critical drivers of future growth. Following the speech, the government took additional steps to support innovation by announcing a helpline on 5th April 2025. This helpline is intended to assist startups in navigating bureaucratic hurdles and to provide guidance on accessing funding and technical expertise. The initiative is part of a broader suite of measures under the Startup India program, which aims to streamline regulatory processes, reduce compliance burdens, and foster a more conducive environment for innovation. The helpline represents an acknowledgement by the government that while visionary statements are important, practical support mechanisms are equally essential to enable startups to transition into high-tech domains. It is a recognition that the ecosystem must be supported at multiple levels, from policy formulation and implementation to the day-to-day challenges faced by entrepreneurs in scaling up their operations. Throughout his address, Minister Goyal also touched upon the concept of evolution in the startup ecosystem. He emphasized that the willingness to learn and evolve is crucial for any nation aspiring to achieve greatness in the global arena. His remarks suggested that there is a pressing need for Indian startups to transcend the comfort zones of existing business models and to embrace a culture of innovation that prioritizes technological advancement and research. This call to evolve is particularly relevant in the context of global competition, where the pace of technological change is relentless and where nations that fail to innovate risk being left behind. His commentary was not intended as a critique for the sake of criticism, but rather as a wake-up call urging entrepreneurs to be bolder and to invest in sectors that promise not only immediate gains but also long-term strategic advantages. The debate that ensued following the minister's remarks has highlighted several critical issues that are central to the discourse on India's economic development. One of the key points of contention is the balance between short-term profitability and long-term innovation. While consumer-oriented startups have proven their mettle by rapidly scaling up and generating significant revenue streams, they often operate within a framework that is heavily reliant on external funding and volatile market trends. In contrast, deep tech ventures, despite their longer gestation periods and higher initial capital requirements, have the potential to create enduring value through breakthrough innovations that can transform entire industries. This tension between the need for immediate economic impact and the desire for sustained technological leadership is a recurring theme in discussions about India's future growth trajectory. Moreover, the minister's comments have raised important questions about the role of government in shaping the direction of the startup ecosystem. Critics argue that while the government has been quick to articulate a vision for a technologically advanced future, there have been challenges in implementing policies that effectively support high-tech research and development. For example, past issues such as the contentious angel tax and regulatory hurdles have often been cited as obstacles that have hindered the growth of deep tech startups. The minister's call for a shift in focus can thus be seen as part of a broader policy debate about how best to allocate resources and foster an environment where innovation is not only encouraged but also practically supported by robust infrastructure and forward-thinking policies. It is also worth noting that this event has significant implications for various stakeholders within the ecosystem, including investors, policymakers, academic institutions, and the startups themselves. For investors, the emphasis on deep tech represents both a challenge and an opportunity, a call to re-evaluate existing portfolios and to consider investing in sectors that may yield transformative returns in the future. For academic and research institutions, this could signal an increase in funding and collaboration opportunities as the government seeks to bridge the gap between theoretical research and commercial application. Meanwhile, for the startups, the challenge is twofold. They must not only innovate and scale their operations, but also navigate an evolving regulatory and policy landscape that is increasingly geared toward fostering high-tech innovation. In examining the various reactions to Minister Goyal's statements, one can observe a spectrum of opinions within the startup community. On one end of the debate, there is the view that the minister's comparisons are overly simplistic and do not fully account for the unique challenges faced by Indian startups. Critics argue that factors such as the diverse consumer base, infrastructural constraints, and a rapidly evolving regulatory environment must be taken into account when evaluating the performance and potential of these ventures. On the other hand, there are those who see merit in the call for a more balanced approach that not only celebrates the achievements of the current ecosystem but also encourages a pivot toward areas that are likely to drive future growth. This divergence in viewpoints is reflective of the broader challenges faced by a dynamic and rapidly changing economy, where innovation must be nurtured on multiple fronts to achieve sustained success. As we consider the broader implications of this discourse, it becomes clear that the conversation around India's startup ecosystem is not merely about business models or market trends, it is fundamentally about the strategic choices that will shape the nation's economic future. The vision of a technologically advanced India is one that demands not only rapid growth and market dynamism but also a commitment to long-term innovation and research. In this context, the minister's critique serves as both a diagnostic assessment of the current state of the ecosystem and a strategic blueprint for its future evolution. By urging startups to transition from low-margin consumer services to high-impact, technology-driven ventures, he is laying the groundwork for a future where India can truly stand shoulder to shoulder with global leaders in innovation. Furthermore, this development carries significant relevance for competitive examinations and academic discussions in the fields of economics and governance. The debate encapsulates a host of critical issues, from policy formulation and regulatory challenges to the strategic management of technological innovation, that are central to contemporary studies in these disciplines. For students and scholars, understanding the nuances of this discourse provides valuable insights into the intersection of government policy, economic strategy, and entrepreneurial dynamics. It highlights the importance of not only recognizing the achievements of the past but also envisioning and preparing for the challenges of the future, thereby underscoring the integral role that innovation plays in the sustainable development of a nation. In addition to the immediate policy and market implications, the minister's remarks also bring to light the cultural dimensions of entrepreneurship in India. His use of colloquial language, such as the term dukandari, adds a distinctly local flavor to his critique, resonating with a wide audience while simultaneously challenging the conventional wisdom of the startup community. This linguistic nuance is reflective of the broader cultural context in which these debates are taking place, a context that is marked by a deep sense of national pride and an unwavering commitment to achieving economic excellence. The conversation, therefore, is not just about shifting business priorities but also about redefining the cultural and intellectual foundations upon which the future of Indian entrepreneurship will be built. As we wrap up today's session, it is important to appreciate that this is a pivotal moment in the evolution of India's startup ecosystem. Minister Piyush Goyal's critical assessment, delivered during a landmark event like Startup Mahakumbh 2025, has not only stirred the pot of public debate but has also set the stage for a re-examination of the country's economic strategies. The government's subsequent announcement of a dedicated helpline to support startups further underscores the seriousness with which these challenges are being addressed. It is a clear indication that while visionary statements are essential, the real impact lies in the tangible support provided to innovators who are striving to push the boundaries of technology and enterprise. In summary, the unfolding narrative around this event is a testament to the dynamism of India's startup culture, a culture that is at a crossroads, poised between the comforts of established success and the vast potential of uncharted technological territories. It challenges all stakeholders, be it government officials, industry veterans, or budding entrepreneurs, to reimagine what is possible when ambition is coupled with strategic foresight and a willingness to embrace change. As we continue to monitor the developments in this space, it is clear that the dialogue initiated by Minister Goyal will have far-reaching implications, shaping the policies, investments, and ultimately, the future trajectory of one of the world's most promising startup ecosystems. Answer this question in comments. The correct answer will be given heart and pinned. Lastly, we just want to let you know that we are a newly emerging online platform for competitive exams. Creating educational explainer videos like these requires a lot of effort, money, and time. If you like these videos and want us to excel and create videos in all categories of competitive exams, then you can consider supporting us with a one-time donation through the Ko-fi platform and also by becoming a member through Patreon. This will help us create more such informative educational videos in the competitive exams space. So, one last time, subscribe and share this channel with all your friends who are preparing for competitive exams. And also, follow us on social media platforms. The links are given in the About section of the channel and also in the video description. So, see you in the next video.